guys, my name is RGB. On today's video, I'm going to share with you guys my personal tips and observations regarding how to draw chibis. If you're a more active subscriber of my channel, you've seen how I've started streaming, and on those streams, I usually end up drawing chibis. I found that the art of illustrating chibis is both therapeutic and addicting. I've decided to compile all of my findings into one short, easy to digest video for the fellow artists who find themselves struggling with the art of drawing chibis. And if you're watching this, I'll kindly ask you to subscribe, leave a like and comment, because it really helps with the channel's engagement and growth, and it's completely free for you to do. A quick disclaimer is that all of the information compiled in this video will be presented as a matter of fact based off on my own personal taste and opinions. So take everything with a grain of salt, and remember that this is my channel, so I'm the ruler. So right off the bat, you know chibi is a Japanese slang term for something short and cute, which is a perfect descriptor of this style. Let's start with the proportions. You usually see chibis being drawn in between 2 to 3 heads tall. More heads mean your chibi will be more detailed, therefore losing a bit of the cutesy spark. Adjusting your head to body ratio will affect how you decide the rest of the style. Usually their heads are around 15% of their height, which makes them very deformed and unproportional when it comes to posing the characters. Chibis more often than not are very restrictive when it comes to poses because of that head to body ratio, which makes their arms not able to reach the top of their head most of the time. So you likely won't be able to do any crazy posing with this style unless you lean towards the 3-head proportion in opposite to the 2-head proportion. When it comes to limb details, you actually have a wide variety of ways you can draw them. For arms, you can choose to make them very noodly shaped, or to keep in mind the real shape of an arm, considering the bone structure. For hands, you usually see them very simplified. There's the Animal Crossing style hands, where the hands are usually just a circle, but some people will add the thumb for posing variety, and others won't make the hand completely oval, but follow the silhouette of a normal hand, keeping all of the fingers glued together with an exception of the thumb. Of course, you can also make a tiny hand where each finger is drawn separately, but it's still very simple looking. After all, I don't think you want your little chibi to have very realistic looking hands, right? The same idea goes for the legs. You can both make them noodle shaped or adhere to proper anatomy, but simplified. Feet will usually be reduced to little stumps, and what I see very often are styles where the feet are drawn very large, and so are the hands, but they essentially maintain the chibi idea of the character being cute and small. And although chibis are very simplified, you probably notice that there's still a wide variety of styles you can make that fit into the chibi spectrum. It's extremely important to look at other artists' art styles to see how each person stylizes up to their personal preference. You also need to try many different things in order to achieve a look that manages to be fun to draw but also fits your personal definition of cute. Now that we have the bigger sections of the body figured out, I'd like to tackle a little bit of facial features. The world of chibi facial features is vaster than you can imagine. The basic ones, as you can expect, are huge anime eyes. The mouth and nose are usually very tiny, and many chibi styles choose not to draw any noses at all. But you can always stylize in any way you see fit. Throughout this video, you will see many different chibi styles I compiled together, where I take different approaches to stylize the faces and the entirety of their bodies. Feel free to take these as examples and to try and play with them yourself. Okay, moving on to tiny details and information that I want to compile together. Because of chibis being very tiny and having skewed proportions, many of the characters' details will get lost in the translation from detailed style to chibi. Take this chibi I drew for example. The character model had many different accessories and details, but because I was translating the design into a chibi version, I decided to focus on the big shapes and include only a few details that wouldn't let the drawing get too cramped with information. When doing chibi art, you usually need to let go of a few accessories and character details if you're, for example, drawing a Genshin-styled character design. Lastly, and something that I don't see mentioned very often in very comprehensive chibi drawing guides is that you need to keep in mind that the brush, the textures, and the color palette you use in your chibi drawings will impact the outcome greatly. Thicker line art will essentially make it even harder for you to add in small details, so you might need to let go of even more information of your character design. But that style of line art does help a lot with giving it a squishy, cartoony vibe. Thinner line art will make everything softer and will allow you to add in more information, but it might also slow down your drawing process. The textures of your brush will also impact the final look of your art, as well as the color palette. Vivid color palettes will make your character look bubbly and livelier, while desaturated color palettes might make things look calmer and a bit more monotone. I personally enjoy using very saturated colors for chibi art. And also, this is regarding my personal taste only, so we're entering personal taste territory. I like chibis especially because they're art that you can get finished very quickly and get a satisfying result. So I personally wouldn't add in a bunch of details, and I always try to simplify the character design as much as I can when drawing chibis. And that's a small compilation of all the knowledge I acquired since I've started drawing chibis. Of course, there's so much more information that you can acquire yourself once you start drawing chibis, but I didn't want to make this video too long, so I tried to just speedrun through all of the information, and hopefully you guys get something out of this. There's so many things you need to consider when finding your style, and with trial and error, you'll surely find something that makes you happy. I definitely haven't found my style yet, but I've been enjoying every step of the way. If you watched up to this point, leave a comment saying chibi overdose, and I'll know you've watched the video until the end. It helps a lot with engagement, and it's a way you can support my work without having to spend any money. I'll see you on the next video, bye bye!